A student's identity plays a key role in their academic success. Phelan, 1993, conceptualizes these identities by explaining how they come from multiple worlds, all which contain different beliefs, expectations and customs. Students often face difficulties in crossing borders between worlds, if their background and values from one are perceived as inferior to the dominant culture in another. Banks, 1993, suggests that personal, cultural knowledge among minority students is not as valued because school knowledge is more consistent with the cultural experiences of most white middle-class students. In turn, students' academic success is negatively impacted, or more specifically, students' acquisition of high-valued resources is limited by educators as institutional agents. Access to high-valued resources is essential for every student, as it positively affects a student's academic performance and assists them in navigating borders. According to Stanton Seltzer, 2011, the academic disparities between low-status youth and high-status youth comes from institutional agents, who tend to prefer students that come from high socioeconomic and white racial backgrounds. For example, Dung, a Vietnamese immigrant who speaks English as a second language, is challenged with language barriers and unfamiliarity with the school system. Despite being vocal about this, Dung's teachers failed to provide him with additional assistance that would facilitate his learning. He is provided with inadequate resources which severely affects his academic performance. The borders that Dung faces comes from the devaluation of his identity, which differs from white American middle-class culture. On the other hand, Gutstein, a middle school mathematics teacher in a Latin community, serves as an empowering institutional agent by providing students with tools and resources to challenge injustice. Gutstein incorporates the concepts of class boundaries and racial disparities into the curriculum, specifically to understand gentrification in the student's neighborhood. Through mathematical analysis, his students recognize the effects of gentrification, which includes the displacement of their community. Although the responsibility of an equitable education should not, and does not, rest on the students, more often than not the reproduction of inequitable education intersects with students' identities. As students recognize their own narratives in their education, it impacts their social and cultural identities in a positive manner. This emphasizes the importance, and need, for educators to move away from deficit perspectives and to provide students with the resources they need to excel. Due to the intersecting identities of students, it is vital that educators follow a structural ideology to provide marginalized students with the resources and support they need to succeed.